We've come into St Helens today to get some things for when I go back to university tomorrow, and there's been a medieval festival on in the centre, so that was interesting. I've got some footage of that. There's going to be more on tomorrow, but unfortunately I'll miss it because I'll be travelling back to Lancaster.
What you do with a violin, you lift up mechanical fingers. Now the two strings down the middle play the tune, and the strings at either side of the box, here and here, they accompany the tune by droning. One of these drone strings here has a small hammer. It's balanced using this turning peg, so that when I flick the handle it rattles and makes a buzzing noise like this. So I have to put the right number of flicks into each turn of the handle with this hand to get that buzzing noise in time with the music that I play with this hand. Now the instrument has lots of names across Europe. In Italy the original name is gironde, but in Central Europe they call it miniera. In Germany they call it Freilaya. In France they call it vialahu. But in England we mispronounce an old Germanic name and we say hurdy-gurdy. It's known as a hurdy-gurdy in our country. We're going to use it now to sing you a song about a pirate. Now, 500 years ago, the Americas had only just been discovered, and there was nobody there to trade with. So there were no ports like Liverpool or Bristol on the west of the country. All the ports were on the east of the country. And the big trading coastline was the Northumberland and Yorkshire, because they used to trade with the Baltic. It used to be called the Hanseatic trade. At least that was until a Scotsman called Henry Martin turned to a life of crime. And he used to hang about off the northeast coast of Yorkshire and Northumberland, and he would intercept the trading ships and make his living by robbing and stealing. So as far as the people of Yorkshire are concerned, Henry Martin is a real pain in the neck, and this is his ballad. Was a piece of music played in Somerset by the town municipal musicians. Now, to be a town municipal musician involves saving up a lot of money, because you see, before you could take a job like that, you had to be a member of the union, or the guild as it used to be called back in the 15th century. Now, in order to join this, you had to pay a large lump sum, and this lump sum paid for the town livery. In other words, it would pay for a tabard that had the crest of the local town that you were working for on the front and on the back, and you'd put it on at all civic functions to show you the official musician. Now, it meant that you had to be able to play something loud out of doors, something like this. You had to be able to play something quiet in case rich people wanted a banquet, and you also had to be able to blow a trumpet and blow a fanfare in case anybody important needed to say anything trivial. Now, not only were you the town musician, but you were also the night watch, and you had to wander around the town on a night performing your music so that the city elders who paid for this could hear you go around the town, and they knew you were on night watch and you were actually going around the town and not down the local pub. Now the song that the tune we've chosen comes from Somerset, from the town of Bruton, and it's the tune that was traditionally played round the town on a night by the official city waits. bagpipes. 500 years ago, bagpipes were the most popular musical instrument right the way across Europe. Everybody used to play bagpipes. But I still bet you're thinking Scotland. Well, bagpipes do not originally come from Scotland. Let me explain. Go back 1,000 years in our country, you come to that fateful year of 1066, when Guillaume de Falaise, or William the Conqueror as we call him in this country, came into our country and he defeated and conquered us at the Battle of Hastings. He then went to every major town of the country and set fire to the centre of it, burning a hole in the middle, where he built a castle to subdue and conquer the people of England. Now, not only did he take over in our country, but the Normans are Christians. And up until that time, the majority of ordinary low-class English people were pagans. So William the Conqueror started the building of 14 Roman Catholic cathedrals. And using the recussancy laws, the people of England were driven to Christianity. Now within 30 years of this, Pope Urban II declared war against Islam, the Holy Crusade. And of course, the Normans are the defender of the faith. So the Normans were asked to come up with an army to go to the Middle East. So who do you think got sent? We did. Of course, we're their conquered servants, aren't we? So the English people went on crusade, which means that for the very first time they met the Arabic culture. And they discovered that when Arabs march into battle, they play snake charmers to frighten the enemy and make them run away. But snake charmers are very difficult to blow. You soon go purple in the face trying to blow a snake charmer. So when they march into battle, Arabs traditionally tie snake charmers into a leather bag. That's what this is. It's an Arabic snake charmer tied into a leather bag. Now when the Christians saw this, they thought it was so tremendous that they brought it home with them, and the bagpipes spread across Europe. Now, the time we're portraying in history, the 15th century, that's at least 300 or 400 years after the time of the Crusades. And in the intervening time, the Europeans, us included, have developed the idea. We've added this bit. Now, that means that by the 15th century, that bit is Mohammedan, that bit is Christian. And the whole thing sings in harmony as the most popular musical instrument right the way across Europe 500 years ago. So what we're going to do now is show you the original Arabic thing. And we're going to use it in the same way that the Christians saw the Arabs using it as they marched into battle. Now, you've got to remember that with all the best will in the world, Europeans are Europeans and Arabs are Arabs. And Arabs sound like Arabs when they're playing music because of their culture. Europeans sound like Europeans when they play music because of their culture. So if a European takes an Arabic musical instrument and tries to sound like an Arab, it's not going to sound like an Arab. He's going to sound like a European pretending to be an Arab. And that's exactly what medieval music sounds like. It sounds like Europeans pretending to be Arabs playing Arabic musical instruments. This is it. This is what it sounds like.
Trumpet or a Moroccan cuisina. It was also in this country known as a clarion after the French name clairon, as our aristocracy in this country, after the French invasion or the Norman invasion, was speaking French. Now this instrument was particularly popular amongst those aristocracy when they were out hunting. Now you can imagine them galloping through the undergrowth with an instrument like this. Not very practical, but they had a solution. Quite simply, they took it and they twisted it, making it circular and much more manageable. Now that horn we still see in the orchestra today. The circular horn we call the French horn, after our French-speaking aristocracy who would have originally played one of these clarions.
But you notice that the word French horn is in English, because we English people are the ones that refer to our veterans in the castles in the English language. But the reverse argument works as well, you see, because the people in the castles see us English peasants outside the pub on a Saturday night dancing to the bagpipes. So they quite naturally refer to us in the French language. This musical instrument, the modern counterpart, is still in the orchestra today, and it does still go by its original French name. It's called cor anglais. Now, if you translate cor anglais into English, you get English horn. So, French horn in the English language for the aristocracy, and English horn in the French language for the conquered peasants. I'm going to play a song now written by an English bishop. The song, well, it's a soldier's song, and it's called L'Homme Armé. Of course it's in French. That's the predominant language of the country. It's only we conquered peasants who speak English, and we don't know how to read and write. So songs from the Middle Ages are nearly always in the French language for this reason. So we're going to sing you the song now, and we'll translate the whole thing into modern English so as then you can understand what is going on. This is another Arabic invention that comes back from the Crusades. Now the original word in Arabic for this musical instrument is the Arabic word oud, U-U-D, oud. Now when the word in Arabic for the is the Arabic word ow. So when the first Crusader went to Palestine and he saw the Arab playing this thing, when he asked him what it was, of course he replied in Arabic, and he said, aloud, aloud. Which is why in English we say a lute, but it's rubbish at speaking Arabic, that's all. A lute, aloud, is a mispronunciation. Now, I'm going to put right this thing about singing in French all the time, because you see, there are some songs in the English language that come from the very end of the Middle Ages, the 15th century. And I'm going to read out a couple of words from one of them for you now. This song is what it is to be an English peasant looking after the sheep on the green and how boring it is. This is what it sounds like. I have so long a keep a sheep on the green, wil kind dat alle zoveel hert is op a huis gracias. The summer walde wene wil kind na how that ze vex were true. Ze may wil kind with rice straws tuna zo people zou list of ons ouders on the zee. So can you see how much English has changed in the last 500 years? See, this is another reason why it's difficult to sing English songs from this far back, because nobody understands what they're going on about unless you have to be a scholar of Anglo-Saxon. So you can see now, it's not quite as obvious as it seems at first. But this is a real piece of English culture, and this is what it sounds like.
They'll turn their head from the front to the back, in both directions, so they're going all the way around from the back.
What's expense that?
About that. Probably about 20 inches, 10 inches, something like that.